They dropped Young Dolph's location for $250,000, man, and they just got busted because the receipts came out and they're showing that Yo Gotti, CMG, they the ones who paid the money to drop the location for Young Dolph and to pay for the hit to be done. This is what's being said right now, allegedly, and the sources from Memphis know exactly what's going on. The fact that they were putting a lot of money on people's heads, and when Young Dolph got taken out, they actually tried to use the getaway car, the Bentley, the white two-door car, and they basically made it to where they try to sell the information about where Young Dolph was going to be, because they know that there was a lot of ops that was trying to catch Young Dolph lacking when he came back to Memphis and everything. And it was a lot of people who was jealous of Dolph, and so this is why they offered to pay $250,000 to the cookie shop to drop the location on Young Dolph. They should have never did that, man. If you guys are supporters of Young Dolph, let me know where y'all from and put the Dolph emoji in the comment section. Throw the LLYD, long live Young Dolph, in the comments if you're a true supporter. And at the end of the day, people got to realize that the feds aren't playing around no more. They know that the cookie shop has some sort of connection with Yo Gotti, and that getaway driver in the Bentley truck has already responded to being like actually part of the crew and everything. So they're about to testify and tell on Yo Gotti and Moneybagg Yo about how they got paid to drive, and pretty much that they drove in front of that crime scene and dropped Yo Gotti off at the airport. One thing a lot of people got to realize, man, is that they were waiting on Young Dolph's downfall for a long time, man. A lot of the people that was hating, they've been trying to get Young Dolph, and this is why the karma is going to come back to bite them, because the whole time that they was planning to take down Young Dolph, they could have been planning to grow and make more money and just take care of their own success instead of worrying about another man. And this is the reason why they went out of their way to try to get him taken out, because you got to realize that a lot of people, man, they was looking at Young Dolph like he's a ticket out the hood and everything like that. And a lot of people, they didn't want to see other people make it, man. Yo Gotti and them, they wanted to be the only ones that was coming out of Memphis. They didn't think that it was going to be somebody else that came up on that same turf and basically passed them. And they didn't even want to work with them, because they know that they was basically, like Dolph said himself, the reason he didn't want to work with Yo Gotti is because he was throwing his own artists under the bus just to sign Young Dolph. And Young Dolph knew that you can't be doing something like that, and it's not going to be a long-term business move. And so this is the many differences between Yo Gotti and Young Dolph. The beef between Yo Gotti and Young Dolph has been going on for many, many years. It started with a baby mama drama issue, and this is what got Yo Gotti mad to the point where he officially announced his beef with Young Dolph through making a diss track like about him, basically. And so as the years went on, they tried to get Dolph on multiple occasions, and they basically failed. This is when Yo Gotti brought in blacyoungsta to pretty much be another person in the streets that's looking for Young Dolph. And so they had him go to Young Dolph's neighborhood, Castalia Market, and blacyoungsta went live. He was with Shondell Barnett, the same guy who was the getaway driver in the Bentley truck and the two-door. And so how is it that they connected the dots to everything, and they found out about how blacyoungsta, Yo Gotti's been trying to tell him to go and do and like basically take Young Dolph out. This is why he pulled up to Young Dolph graveyard, tombstone, and everything, and tried to do the music video this there. blacyoungsta, he's gonna have a lot of karma coming his way, because he should have left Young Dolph alone a long time ago. He was taking orders from Yo Gotti, but this is what people do, man. When a lot of people, they don't want to leave the street life alone and everything, they showing the next generation that this is the only way to live. And so a lot of people, they couldn't really make any money in Memphis unless it was like taking some type of order from Yo Gotti to do this, to do something to Young Dolph, or to sign to him. A lot of people thought that the only way out of Memphis was to sign to Yo Gotti. And Young Dolph proved that you don't have to sign nothing to Yo Gotti to make it out of Memphis and Tennessee. And so this is what they didn't like. They didn't like the fact that People were learning how to make millions off of Young Dolph, and Yo Gotti don't even know how to do the same things, man. And so they try to basically keep this thing going back and forth with the dissing each other in the songs. But eventually, man, once Moneybagg Yo got signed to CMG after Young Dolph helped them with a free feature, this is when it was basically an all-out war, because they had tried the 100 shots on Young Dolph in Charlotte, and blacyoungsta had turned himself in for that. So if blacyoungsta already turned himself in for that, then we know that he basically came into CMG to beef with Young Dolph, because Yo Gotti knew that he couldn't be in the streets trying to do anything, because he'll get caught for it. His face is everywhere. His face is the whole operation of CMG. And so now they knew that they had to have Govan and blacyoungsta and bigjook take over. This is why when the indictments came out, they was really going after bigjook, Govan, and blacyoungsta, because they know that one of them is going to be able to turn against Yo Gotti and pretty much tell on Yo Gotti, saying that he's the head of the whole operation and that he was the one that personally wanted Young Dolph to have something done. And so once they realized that, this is when the feds started working closely with Govan. They gave Govan a plea deal that he couldn't refuse, just so that he could tell on bigjook and Yo Gotti, saying that them the two brothers that pretty much planned this whole entire thing, and they was willing to pay out all the hitmen that's involved and the getaway drivers. They're the ones who paid to have the location dropped. Once they got to Govan, they gave him the bond. The next thing you know, blacyoungsta's brother gets hit up, because they know that blacyoungsta, he was about to be the one that was taken into custody next, and basically that he was going to tell on Yo Gotti, because he don't want to go down for the whole entire thing on the RICO. And so this is why the feds, they were getting like blacyoungsta and bigjook and Govan to cooperate against Yo Gotti and testify on him. So this is what made Yo Gotti so scared. And the next thing you know, people start dropping like flies. Blacyoungsta brother gets hit up. Next thing you know, Govan daughter, he gets hit up. bigjook gets hit up. When bigjook got hit up, the word on the street was he was actually about to testify against his own brother Yo Gotti and risk Yo Gotti getting put in 50 to 100 years, because he did, like, they all know that the beef was between Young Dolph and Yo Gotti. So they're not going to try to take the hit for everything like that. They thought they could get away, but in the long run, man, once they got caught by the feds and they was looking at 100 years and everything like that, bigjook, he folded, man. He folded, and he was cooperating against Yo Gotti, because he knew that he wanted to have his freedom, because it wasn't his idea and everything. And so this is why the street life ain't for nobody, man. You will be loyal and everything like that. Y'all could be brothers, everything going good. You come up with a plan, but then you get caught. A lot of people, they never plan on how they're going to get away with it. They just plan on how they're going to do the stuff. And so once they got caught, man, bigjook, he was ready to squeal on Yo Gotti, and Yo Gotti was about to be next to be indicted. The next thing you know, everybody woke up one morning and Yo Gotti's brother bigjook got taken out in front of the whole world. And now there's nobody there to testify against Yo Gotti, and now they're thinking of bringing Young Dolph brother up to the stand to pretty much testify against the whole cookie shop and pretty much set the like scene of how everything went down when he walked up in there and seen Young Dolph on the ground, man.